Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Day 5 of the British Swimming Championships 2017. What an incredible week it's been so far, and tonight is guaranteed to be no different. We've seen some personal bests, we've seen some British records, and we've seen 4 people make that qualification time to get on that plane to Budapest for the World Championships. Tonight's action is going to be no different, and I'm being joined by someone very special right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ross Barber. He's the chief coach of Sheffield Swim Squad. Now, Ross, you've had an absolutely incredible week so far. You've got swimmers in tonight, you've got Max, you've got Ellie, you've got Joe, and you've got Rosie. What's the secret to your success?
Oh, well, I've been around a long time. I've been here for 16 years now, and I've been able to build a good team, a really good team of coaches and sports science staff, and our committee supports us fantastically well, and all the people that work here, combined with the fact that I've been able to build a really good, strong team, you know, so we've got swimmers staying in the city to university, etc., and building our own swimmers through the program. So combined with the fact that we work really, really hard, you know, and I think some people would be scared when they hear the numbers of the kind of work that our kids do. But we do work hard, and we try and see what the best in the world are doing and try and emulate it and do it better.
Absolutely, mate, and I think we're seeing throughout this week that that's really paying off. I mean, it was Olympics last year, we're now heading crashing into a new Olympic cycle. Are you making any sort of major changes heading into this season?
Yeah, I mean, we would try and look at the Olympic cycle as a 4-year process, and so this is the foundation year where we're changing strokes, getting stronger, getting our skills right, and then we slowly build through and get more speed as the quad develops. And so this is kind of year 1, so it's going really well. We're really happy with it. And but it's all about Tokyo, and that's what we're all about. So it's a 4-year process.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. It's going to be a long one. Now, thanks for joining us. Good luck for tonight. But it's not just the Sheffield Swim Squad that's in tonight. And Kerry Ann was lucky enough to catch up with Chris Spice earlier. So we put together a little bit of video to find out what he thinks of the competition so far. So let's take a look.
I'm here with Chris Spice, British Swimming's National Performance Director. Now, Chris, we all want to talk about Rio, but we know, and I've read a few articles that you've done, that actually that was one thing. Let's move on to the next 4 years.
Yeah, I think that's right, Kerry, and we've spent a lot of time debriefing and looking at what happened in 2016. And I think we have to understand we can't keep having our best ever year, year after year, as much as that'd be nice. But we've got to reset the bar now, and that's what we're focusing on the next 4 years and looking forward rather than looking back.
So if we're looking forward to this meet that we're having here, we've had quite a few names, a couple of ones we know before. Adam Peaty doing a great job, really pushing on that breaststroke, but actually Ross Murdoch making his way back up to that 200 breaststroke.
Yeah, we always knew that this was going to be an up and down meet because clearly some of our key athletes have had longer breaks than they would normally. So some have done well and some have struggled as a result of that. But we were dead pleased that Ross could to get in there and get his hand on the wall first. Great for him. And I think with Adam, what we've seen is that because he has raised the bar, we've got a whole bunch of youngsters coming through in breaststroke that see Adam, they look at how he trains and what he does, and they want to be like him. So he's inspiring the next generation. And yeah, we're in pretty good shape.
That's amazing. And let's talk a little bit about some of the juniors that are here. Let's talk about Freya Anderson in that 100 freestyle. Is she the next Fran?
She's going to be a bit taller than Fran. But no, look, she's an absolute talent. We've had our eye on Freya for a couple of years, and she's doing brilliantly well. I think what we have to be careful of with some of our youngsters is not to big them up too soon. There's a long time to go between now and Tokyo, but we're going to be working closely with her and a coach on some things to try and make her better over the next 4 years. And I think, you know, an incredible talent, and the key for all of us is how do we maximise that talent. So come Tokyo time, she'll be delivering for us on the big stage.
And there seems to be quite a big emphasis put on the next 4-year cycle. It's not just about this year. It's not about winning all the medals at this competition. It's about coming on to the next one. So how do you essentially try and get people prepared to win after winning?
The thing about this year is what we've tried to do is say whatever happens this year, good or bad, it'll be our starting point. And we're trying to say as a program we want to move forward each year after this year. And we know that it was going to be a bit of a mixed bag this year. We don't know what the other countries are doing. Some of the athletes in other countries are also having longer breaks and coming back in different shapes. So we may do very well, but equally we may not do as well. But whatever we are this year, the challenge for us is how do we get better year on year until we get into Tokyo. So that's what we're looking at.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, Chris. It was a delight to talk to you. Let's see what the last couple of days of swimming has to offer.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of exciting stuff to look forward to tonight. I am certainly pumped for it, and as we can see, everyone else here in the arena is as well. Now, our pick of the day today for the swims tonight is Jazz Carlin. Now, Jazz already holds the 800-metre gold for this British Championships. She has the 400 metres champion in 2014, 2015 and 2016. Can she make it 4 in a row, or is hometown girl Ellie going to take the crown from her? Well, we're all just going to have to wait and see. Now, the qualification time she needs to make it onto that plane to guarantee her place in the World Championships in Budapest is 4:03:43. Will she be able to do it? Everyone's got their fingers crossed, but we're just going to have to wait and see. But it's not just that race tonight. There's lots happening throughout the finals this evening, so let's take a look at how it's going to pan out this evening. First up is the women's 50-metre backstroke. Do keep an eye out for Georgia Davis in that race. She's a Rio Olympian. Then it's the men's 50-metre freestyle. Benjamin Proud is racing in that. It's the blue ribbon event, and he was 4th in Rio. Then it's the women's 400 freestyle. Jazz Carlin, like we said, silver medal in this event in Rio. She's the reigning champion for the last 3 years. If she makes it 4, it'll be an epic battle between her and Ellie. After that is the men's 200 IM. Duncan Scott and Daniel Wallace are going to be battling it out for that one. And then the women's 200 metre IM is going to finish up the night here. It's going to be an absolutely amazing race with Siobhan Marie O'Connor. She was, of course, silver in this event in Rio. So let's see how she does tonight. If you do want to keep up to date with us, don't forget to keep sending in those tweets, those Instagram posts, those selfies, letting us know how you're enjoying the event. The hashtag is, of course, BSC 2017, or BSC 17, sorry. Now, it was the heats this morning. If you missed it, Alan March has a little bit of a wrap-up of the highlights for you, so let's take a look.
After a short day on day 4 of the British Swimming Championships 2017, our athletes leapt back into action on day 5, trying to secure those final places. We started with the women's 400 metres freestyle event. Bath's Jazz Carlin has won this event every year since coming 4th at the London 2012 trials. The reigning champion needs a 4:03:43 to drop inside the automatic qualification time, but her 4:12:71 was only 2nd quickest in the heats. Lane 4 will go to Stockport's 17-year-old Holly Hibbert. 4:12:49 in her heats gives Hibbert the fast lane as she tries to add to that 800-metre silver medal she got on day 2. On to the 200 metres individual medley men's event now, and the Litchfields are back. After battling it out to the finish in the 400 metre individual medley, Max taking gold and Joe taking bronze, they'll go again tonight. Mark Saranic won silver in the 400 event. He'll go from lane 5 in this one as he looks to improve on back-to-back 4th place finishes. Daniel Wallace will go from lane 3 as he's the quickest of all the PBs in this final, and Duncan Scott will be in lane 1, the bronze winner from last year. To qualify, they all need to break the British record, and the holder of that is James Goddard. He thinks it can be done. In the women's 200 IM, Siobhan Marie O'Connor has stood victorious for the last 3 years and swam quickest in the heat as she looked to make it 4 in a row. O'Connor went 2:12:39 with the qualifying time set at 2:09:56. That's nearly 3 seconds slower than her PB. Hannah Miley will go from lane 5 as she looks to add to her 400 metre title that she won on Tuesday. Ben Proud is another Olympian looking to retain his title and make the GB team for the Budapest World Championships. After the agony of his 4th place finish in Rio last summer, he started his journey to Japan with a time just 1/10 of his own British record in the men's 50 metres freestyle. Georgia Davis wins the 50 metres backstroke title every 2 years, 2013, 2015 and in 2017. The Loughborough registered swimmer took lane 4 from the heats in 28:09. Can she win the title again and challenge her own 27:56 British record?
Is about to begin, ladies and gentlemen, so it's over to our commentators, Alan March and the beautiful Kerry-Ann Payne. Enjoy the show.
He never calls me beautiful like he says it to you. I'm not surprised. Welcome, good evening. This is evening number 5 of the British Swimming Championships 2017. And we start the night off with quick stuff. It's 50 metres backstroke action. Good evening, Kerry-Ann Payne.
Good evening, Alan Marsh.
Very nice. We have the junior final up first. Of course, Daisy Platt, City of Leicester in 1. Debbie Cocking, Rotherham Metro goes in 2. 3 is Pia Murray of Ellesmere College Titans. I've been promised a hat with the word Titans on. I've been promised. Lily Bosley, City of Sheffield, was just there on your screen a moment ago. This is Emma Harvey of Millfield. This is Rachel Wellings of City of Peterborough in 6. The blue cap with the words COPS, COPS. In 7, Rebecca Show in Team Ipswich. Just beyond her, before they dive in and getting themselves comfortable on those backstroke wedges. That'll be Megan Maybanks of Dunmow Atlantis. What a start to the evening. It's a bit frantic here. It's noisy. This is the biggest crowd of the lot throughout the course of the week so far, undoubtedly. Excited for tonight?
Very excited for tonight. We've got some really cool events happening tonight. I'm particularly excited for those 200 individual medleys for men and for women. Both going to be very exciting races. But first of all, we've got the slashers and dashers, or whatever we've decided to call them now. But it's the 50 events, the sprints. Not much time to talk about it. People are just going to get in and they're going to go on.
Through the 25 they went, through the 15 they went, through the 10 they go, and they're pretty even here. Harvey and Bosley are fighting it out, and just about now Bosley starts to pull away in the middle. There she is, 29.16. Second in that race goes to Emma Harvey. Rebecca Sherwin in third position, all but one inside 30 seconds, 29.16. Here you see them carry on, coming underneath the backstroke flag, and it's just there, literally, that Bosley pulls away.
She just had a really good reach on the finish. She just got a slight little bit ahead of the second place there, and she actually was second in the junior final of the 100 backstroke was Lily Bosley, so she'll be really happy to go away being British junior champion. There's your results on the screen: Lily Bosley, Emma Harvey and Rebecca Sherwin.
Yeah, second in the 200, so happy to pick up the result there. So, a quick start allows us to remind you now with this little breather. Keep the tweets coming into us. Hashtag BSC17. Let us know who you're supporting, where are you watching from. Make sure you put the hashtag live stream as well. Stephen Stanley says, can I eat a biscuit yet? That's an overhang from this morning's session. Hopefully you joined us for that as well. Keep coming with your tweets. Hashtag BSC17. Hashtag live stream.
Coming up to the next final now will be the women's Target Tokyo 50-meter backstroke final. They're all coming out onto the start. You'll notice here on this 50 that we start from the other end, because we always like to finish races where the timekeepers are, which are on the other side of the pool, by just by the podiums. So coming up now to the women's 50 backstroke Target Tokyo final.
This is Martha Dooley in ones. It's her birthday next week. Happy birthday, Martha, in case we don't see you. 2 is Courtney Price, Nova Centurions. In 3, this will be Charlotte Evans of Loughborough University. Keep those tweets coming. Sonia Payne says, smash it tonight. Hannah Miley, still love watching BSC 17. Hashtag live stream as well. That's Charlotte Evans swinging her arms away before she gets in. Emily Crane of Loughborough University is in 4. Disturb the water now.
Interesting question, actually, I got on the Twitter about that. We can talk about that later.
Caroline McIntosh, why not? Of Aberdeen, up next, just 17 years of age, the one of 2 17-year-olds, but she finds herself in lane 5, and as we say, Martha Dooley actually 18 next week, whereas Caroline McIntosh not born until the 16th of August 1999. Chloe Golding, City of Manchester, Aquatics, Karen Reid, Edinburgh University, and Freya Rayner, City of Sunderland. There you see taking the plunge into the water is Freya Rayner, putting their feet and their toes onto the wedge. The officials just looking on, making sure that all is good. And away they go then. Dooley, Price, Evans, Crane, McIntosh, Golding, Reid and Rayner. The question was?
The question was why the swimmers wet themselves before they start. And the only reason I could think of was just because it's just something that everyone does. I'm not sure if there's a real reason behind it. Sometimes it was to help the suit stick a little better before we dived in. But yeah.
Emily Crane trying to pull away from the rest. On the far side, Rayner is putting in an effort here. 29.48 Rayner's personal best. It's Crane from Rayner. 29.08. We've got that down as a big personal best. It was 29.30 over 50 meters. That's pretty good. On the far side, Rayner 29.21. That's a PB as well. And Caroline McIntosh of Aberdeen 29.44, just outside of 29.33 that she can do.
just goes to show, we've said this plenty of times, it doesn't matter what lane you're in, you can win from any lane. You're all in the same water, trying to get to the other side as quick as you can.
Kate Sharman says, are tonight's finals on the BBC Red button? Well, that's what I'm told. So you press it, who knows? If you're watching through the YouTube page, do make sure you like and subscribe. Maybe you're watching it through the British Swimming website. Either way is good enough, as long as you can see it. Maybe you want to hear it.
I guess you could put all of them on.
Yeah, it's like a surround sound of vision.
In all the different rooms of the
and
house.
noise, yeah. Yeah, I believe it's on the red button as well, so big welcome to all the people watching, no matter where you are in the world, no matter how you're watching it. Maybe you've got a really small mobile device in your hand, maybe you've got a bit of a tablet on the go, maybe you've got a huge smart television, and you are seeing the crystal clear water of Ponds Forge International Sports Centre right now. The swimmers are coming out, well, pretty much underneath where you're looking. Here they are. This is the women's 50 metres backstroke final.
Lots of these girls were also in that 100 final as well. Georgia Davies, she won it. Second was Kathleen Dawson. Lots of girls here have already been stood on that podium. Who is going to make it to the top of the podium tonight?
Rebecca says there's a huge Doncaster Dart contingent out in force for Max and Joe Litchfield on the front row a little bit later on. That is Molly Allen of City of Peterborough. This is Harriet West of Loughborough University. There you go, why bother bending down to get yourself wet? You can bring your own water, as if we haven't got enough. Lucy Hope of Edinburgh University. Hope that was water, not lemonade. The sticky finish there. Georgia Davies, Loughborough University in 4. Kathleen Dawson, University of Stirling, goes in 5. Dawson, personal best of 28.12. Went 28.47 this morning. Lauren Quigley, City of Liverpool. There's a lady that's won this title in 2014. Then you've got Anna Main in 7 of Woking, and Cassie Wilde from Ellesmere College Titans goes in 8. People looking on all over, cameras at the ready, fans at the ready, those little red air sticks that call the clappers, they throw them together, and doesn't that make a noise? Which is why they're only sold on that side of the building, not on ours. Alan West, Hope, Davies, Dawson, Quigley, Main, Wild. Is this Georgia Davies, or is it Kathleen Dawson's time?
Kathleen will be hungry for this. She wanted to win that 100, but she didn't quite get there. So it's definitely going to be a battle between these two girls. It's always nice to win the 50 and the 100 and the 200 of all the different events. So this is the 50 for the 100, the 50 for the backstroke events. Georgia Davies is looking great. She is streaks ahead of the field so far. It's
Davies as they come into the final 5. And the lady from Loughborough University smashing it up. 27.69. 27.56 is her own British record. She is not far outside of that. 27.69.
She is really close to that. She'll be so happy with that swim. And like I just said, that's the 100 and the 50 now that she is British champion for. There's no qualification time for this event. You'll have noticed there was no little box in the bottom corner, which will come up on the rest of the events today. There's no qualification times for any 50 other than the 50 freestyle. What they've decided to do for this competition is that they were just going to go Olympic standard qualifying races. There are, at the World Championships, 50 backstroke, 50 breaststroke, 50 butterfly, but on this occasion they were just going for Olympic qualification events.
Keep those tweets coming. Well, I'm sure we'll hear from Georgia Davies in a couple of minutes. Otti says, what a start for Team Steel. Nice one, Lily Bosley. Claire says she's watching from Penzance. Go Alex Ray in the 53. The results are now on the screen. Georgia Davies does indeed take it. 27.69. The only lady inside 28 seconds. Dawson capable of a 28.12 outside of her own personal best as well. So we're nearly downstairs with John. Holly Miles, swimming family are supporting Megan Maybanks in tonight's final. Keep those tweets coming as we keep going down to John Mason.
Yes, I'm here once again with Georgia Davies, our first British champion of the night. That's 2 this week. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling tired. I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow because I'm finished racing now.
Absolutely. Well, it's the last event you can celebrate now. Now, you made a big move this year. You're overseas over in Turkey. It's obviously paying off for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with my swims this week. I was hoping to go a little bit faster than that tonight because it's been a while since I've done a PB in that event, but hopefully I'll be able to push it on a little bit later in the year.
Well, it's the start of the season. Look, you're done now. Go and celebrate. Enjoy yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Georgia Davis. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
Great stuff. You see the crowd applauding. All the interviews that you see on the screen, they actually go out in the venue as well. So good round of applause from the venue crowd here. That's the final of the 3 50-meter backstroke events. Certainly moves quick, doesn't it? When we've got the 50s to start with, you've got to be ready. Not just the swimmers, us.
I know, you've got to be on it. This next one's up, and then the next one's up.
David Holmes says a little factoid for you. The 2 IM finalists, Jarvis Parkinson and the Litchfield, all made their national championships debuts as Doncaster dance swimmers. We know that.
We do know that indeed. So this will be the junior finals for the men's 50 freestyle.
Being reminded that it's not the red button it's on, it's actually on the it's online on BBC tonight. So online is where you need to be. YouTube, you can like and subscribe, or you can watch it through the British Swimming website as well. You can use the BBC app. If you are watching, then hi, wherever you're from. Rory Huggins of Hampton and Waterlooville in 1, Theo Hughes of Conway in 2, Lewis Fraser, Swansea Aquatics goes in lane 3, 4 is Scott McClay of Perth City. Elliot Clogg, City of Sheffield, is next up. Looks quite relaxed. James Eddy of Wickham District is alongside him in 6. 7 will then be Lewis Kerrett, City of Leicester. You can just see him climbing onto the blocks now. And 8 will be Harry Constantine of Hatfield. Came second in the 100 junior event. James Eddy came third in the 100 junior event, and Elliot Clogg won the 100 junior event. So all 3 from the 100 are here.
Great start there as well. He is already almost ahead in front of everybody else, but the rest of the field are catching up.
It is Clogg with about 6 to go. He's going to have to hold on because they're still coming, but it's Clogg, 23.18. That's 1/10 quicker than his personal best, according to what we've got.
Looks like second place on that was Scott McClay, and third place was Lewis Fraser. We'll just wait for those results to be confirmed and on your screens shortly.
He's just 17, that's the junior final. If you think that the qualification time is 21.54, the individual consideration time, if you don't win the race or you don't get inside that time, consideration time is 22 seconds. So he's still 1.18 off where he needs to be, but he's still only 17. Elliot Clogg winning at 23.18.
Quite a few events that these juniors can qualify for from this final. These junior finals have been incredibly fierce, trying to win places on either the World Juniors, which are out in Indianapolis later on this year, the European Juniors, which are in Israel as well, a bit earlier on than the World Juniors, and also the European Youth Olympic Festival.
Charlotte George says good luck to Andrew Roy in the 50 free final. Smash it. Good swimming reference there. Smash it.
Moving on now to the men's Target Tokyo 53 final. We only have 4 swimmers in this one. 4 athletes that did the time in the heats that were at the age they need to be.
So in this Target Tokyo final, should I say, Alex Ray, Loughborough University, Yusuke Lejar, Wickham District in 4, Samuel Irvine, Loughborough University in 5, and Andrew Roy of Bath University in 6.
There's quite a few changes that happen in these the junior finals, and the Target Tokyo finals. It doesn't matter what your age is, anybody can swim as long as you're fast enough in that open final. We have here Lagarde. He was 8th in the senior final for the 100 freestyle the other night, but decided tonight he wants to try and win this 50 freestyle in the Target Tokyo final.
So Ray, Yusuke Lejar, Samuel Irvine and Andrew Roy. Just the four of them. Irvin was fourth in the 100 target Tokyo final. Yasuki Lejard actually made the senior final.
Yep, he was eighth in that.
And, just the four going against each other. One 18-year-old in Roy, two 19-year-olds in Irvin and Ray, and Lejard at 20 will look to try and top them all, but it's Ray in 3 who will look to touch first and does. It's a joint second. That's how close it is here in the swimming world. 22.89 for Irvin and Lejard, but neither could swim quick enough to stop Alex Ray of Loughborough University. 22.66.
That's a brilliant swim, 22.66 there from Alex Ray. This morning he was a 23.01. So taking quite a chunk off his time there in the 50 freestyle. It's quite hard to take off lots of times, like seconds in the freestyles, because especially in the 50s, because it's just such a short race, the splash and dash. But it's great to see such fast times in the heats and then into the finals again. So PBs in the heats and then PBs again in the finals. Now this is it. We're coming up to the senior final. This will be the fastest man in the pool, will be the fastest man in Britain for the 50 freestyle. Who's it going to be?
Well, we're eagerly awaiting the men's 50 meters freestyle. So the young men that are going to compete for the title of British champion over 50 meters, the splash and dash. We just couldn't come up with another name for it, so we'll stick with that for one more year, shall we? Some good creativity, but for now, we'll stay with the splash and dash. In lane 1, Daniel Spears of Millfield, the 19-year-old with a PB of 22.67. Lane 2 is Alexander Bowen of Loughborough University, 21 years of age. In 3, Miles Monroe of the University of Bath. Another of our 4 athletes inside their 20s. Benjamin Proud, just 1/10 outside of his own British record in the heats. What can we expect from him in 4? Thomas Fannin in 5, just 18, getting to swim right next to the reigning British champion, who's looking for a hat-trick, of course. Jack Thorpe in 6 of Edinburgh University, James Oxborough in 7 of Loughborough, and Lewis Boris keeping warm. Southport swimmer, just 17, youngest of them all. And he's going to have to do something brilliant from the outside if he is to stop Ben Proud from becoming a 3-time champion of the 50-meter freestyle. And a few last-moment adjustments for Miles Monroe here. And just very quickly, Kerry-Ann, does that play with the mind?
It can do, definitely. Everyone's prepared, everyone's ready to go. Looks like he's either lost his hat or maybe his goggles, I think, might have been a slight issue, but very clever of him to have a spare pair with him, but they had to hold everybody before the start of this 50 freestyle.
It's not just his mental psyche at that point, is it? Everybody who was prepared, they thought that they were just about to step on the blocks, and you go through those routines, don't you, as athletes? So let's see if that plays on anyone's mind. 21.54 is the British record. 21.54 is the qualification time as well. And not the first time we've seen that this week, where the qualification standard has been the British record, which then has been the swimmer in that race's own personal best to try and go and get. And look at him go straight away, powering through the water, giving Kerry-Ann goosebumps here as it's Ben Proud coming through the final 10, and he is moving away from everybody. Fannin trying to keep up with him. The time will be 21.32. Over 2/10 of a second quicker than his own British record. A proud mum and family see up on the screen, cheering away, and Kerry-Ann Payne, what a swim!
What a beautiful swim there from Ben Proud. I could not even speak. I was so excited to watch that swim. He just popped up in front of everybody. He was so far ahead from the front, and he decided he was going to have to go for that time. If he wanted to get onto that plane to go to the World Championships, he had to break his own British record, which is exactly what he's done. Now he joins the likes of Max Litchfield, who broke the British record, to do exactly the same thing. He is going to go out to the World Championships this year, and he's also the fastest man in Britain.
Well, he just keeps pushing and pushing his own British record, his own personal best, and he wins for a third time the British Championship, this time here at Ponsford, once in London, once in Glasgow, once in Sheffield. That's the hat-trick, and he's smiling away, getting ready to have a chat with John Mason. But immediately, as soon as they came up from the start, he was already ahead.
Ben decided that he absolutely was just going to do exactly what he needed to do. He was going to put his head down and he was going to do this 50 freestyle. And he did. He finished quite far ahead. We're looking at the results.
It's nearly a second over second place, over 50 metres. To those of you watching who are fairly new, nearly a second over 50 metres is one heck of a swim. Ben Proud from Thomas Fannon, from Jack Thorpe. Let's hear from him now.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and not only a new British champion, a new British record. Benjamin Proud, round of applause, go on. Woo! Lot of love for him in the room. So, Benjamin, big year last year. You came in now, you smashed not only your personal best, but British record. How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. I mean, you know, to swim that time of the season, it's a really big confidence boost, but today wasn't the day to swim fast swim. It's summer.
It is summer, I know, mate, and I can confirm you've made that qualification time, so you will be on that plane to Budapest in the World Championships. Last year was Rio. You're coming into this year. Any major changes have you made going into this season?
Yeah, some quite big changes. Left my old coach, John, and started with James Gibson. And, you know, it's scary making a change, but after something like that, I can be really pleased.
Mate, you should be. Congratulations. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Benjamin Proud, new British champion and British record holder. Love it. Back to you guys.
It goes without saying, Kerry-Ann Payne, a champion to be proud of. What a swim again from Ben.
Absolutely, and you could just see the delight in his mother's face there coming down here. She wasn't even sitting in the stands, as I wouldn't be sitting in the stands. I would be jumping around.
I wouldn't worry about his mother's face. The pride in everybody else is yours alone. You were stunned over the first 30 or so metres. I sort of half looked at you because I thought you were going to interject, and you were just mouth wide open, goosebumps on your arms, and you were just pointing like something rare was happening. I'll have that on the menu. That's what you were pointing at. And Ben, he just went for it. We're going to bring you the medal ceremony for the women's at 50 backstroke in a couple of minutes. Do keep your tweets coming. Lovely one here from Laura. Says, I'm loving Kerry-Ann playing commentary at these championships. You're a natural.
Oh, thank you.
She's missed the line that says, who's the idiot with you? But that's fine. I don't mind that. I've got broad shoulders. Ian Fulcher. Boom. That's exactly what we want to see. Ollie just says, wow, wow, wow. We've got a double bronze here in this ceremony. Lucy Hope and Lauren Quigley both tied in the end on 28.49. Davies and Kathleen Dawson battling away. But it's Quigley and Hope that will, well, we don't have to break those medals in half anymore. You can give them one each.
You can give them two, yeah. Lucy Hope and Lauren Quigley there. They'll both be happy to be on the podium. Lauren Quigley, you know, she's changed programs. She kind of kept a year under the radar. She didn't make the Olympic team. I know that hurt her quite a lot because she was really hoping that she could make that. But, you know, changing clubs, and she'll be up on that podium, which I think she should be really proud of. Same with Lucy Hope. It's a really tough event, this one, the 50 backstroke. Georgia Davis is just, you know, she's a few streaks ahead of the rest of those girls now. Her change to moving out to Turkey, in fact. You know, it's obviously made a big difference. Same with Ben. They've both got each other to bounce off of. And then Kathleen Dawson, she's a youngster. She's up and coming. She's, you know, as we spoke about earlier, she was in those Targa Tokyo finals a little while ago. She wasn't winning them as such, but she was in those Targa Tokyo finals, and now she is on the podium in the senior finals.
Adele Stachkiewicz presenting the medals here, and Lucy Hope of Edinburgh University, that's the lady in the red tracksuit top, she receives her medal first. Lauren Quigley's going to get a bronze here. It's been gold before in that event, but she's going to have to settle for bronze. Kathleen Dorset, University of Stirling. She can be proud with that performance.
She should be. She'll be happy with that. It was, you know, she probably would like to have gone under that 28 mark, and she was close, 28.19. But I think that everybody is very impressed with Georgia Davies. That girl, the lady stood in the middle there. She is British champion not only for the 100 backstroke, but also now for the 50 backstroke too.
Davies taking the title, and as you were saying, Kerry-Ann, interesting the programme that's opened up out there in Turkey, an opportunity for some swimmers to go over with James Gibson and train hard, and good weather, good conditions, you know, a chance to train hard over there with a very good coach indeed, and then travel the world and try and compete. And she's done just that here, not just competing, but of course standing on top of the podium. Going back to the last race, Julie's tweet just says, great swim. Great swim. And we've had just lots of wows from Tom Baxter, a wow. Keep them coming. Kerry Porter more impressed than Ian Fulcher got a mention on the live stream. Never mind the fact that Ben Prout broke that record, but what a swim. That young lady's still stunned.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. We still have the women's 400 freestyle finals to come. I'm really looking forward to this one. Lots of the juniors didn't get the opportunity to do a second swim in the 800 because on this occasion we just did, you know, heats in the morning and then the fastest heat at night. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of these juniors and the Target Tokyo finalists having another go at a longer distance event.
Keep the tweets coming in. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream as well, so we know you're inside the venue. Jack Thorpe, 22.53. Thomas Fannin, 22.21. Benjamin Proud, British record, 21.32. And, well, these three, they might be applauding themselves right now, but everybody else was doing that for them as they came towards the wall. Fannin was quick, you know, he was really pushing down the final 15. All of a sudden he started to move away from the rest as well, and so another name to look out for over the splash and dash distance of 50 metres. But Ben Proud takes some beating. Jack Thorpe there receiving his medal a moment ago. Plymouth Leander's Thomas Fannin, a teammate of course, so the Speed Kings in Plymouth will be all very happy.
Yes, absolutely. He probably did train. I'd imagine he trained with Benjamin Proud when Benjamin was at Plymouth. Moving out now to Turkey, as we said a minute ago. I did speak to the guys a little while ago and asked them about how they're getting on out in Turkey. And, you know, it's not without its challenges. They said, you know, they're in an international program there, so they're having to deal with international languages. So sometimes they can be a bit of a barrier. But we've said this time and time again, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what you speak. When you get in that water, it's about who's the fastest swimmer in the pool.
So, those three standing aloft. They could just nip across the border to my house. Be fine. Look at that. He's taking a look at the time. He's a cool customer. I'll just redo my hair. I know I'm going to get an interview in a minute, so I'm going to make sure that's okay. We were chatting with him the other day. We were doing some filming down on the side of the pool. He's finished the length. He's whipped his cap off and starts talking to Kerry Ann and constantly just flicking the hair, making sure that's you just become sort of savvy about self-appearance, don't you, I suppose? You know the moment you get out, there's going to be a camera there.
Well, maybe, but, you know, you're in the water, your hair is always plastered to your face. The last thing you want is, like, plastered face to your hair, so everyone just has a little ruffle. You know, when you go to the hairdresser, nobody leaves after they've had their hair washed and get out. Everyone always has a little styling to it.
Hair issues is something I haven't had to worry about for quite a while now. If it's there, it's there.
I would just like to say one more thing about Ben on that 50 freestyle. I mean, the British record, his British record before that was 21.54. And I said earlier, it's really hard to make massive gains on the sprint events because it is, you know, it's so short. You've only got 50 meters to do that. But Ben took off a huge amount of time. You know, took off over 0.2 of a second on a 50-meter freestyle. It was just such a joy to watch.
Keep those messages coming in. Sarah Howard is watching from Barbados on her tablet. Yes. Oh, Kerry Ann Payne's eyes have lit up. Hannah Russell, MBE nonetheless, and fantastic swimmer in her own right, says, wow, what a swim from Ben Proud. Keep those tweets coming into us. Hashtag BSC17. Keep those tweets coming. Right, we're back down the other end of the pool now, and the distance certainly picks up. This is the women's junior 400-meter freestyle final. There's Jessica Podger third in the 200 junior final. Just 15. Rachel Anderson also 15. Anderson swimming for Millfield. Sophie Smith of St Thomas. Nikki Miller, East Kilbride. Then we've got Leah Crisp, City of Leeds. And Michaela Glenister, City of Leicester. Elizabeth Harris alongside Stockport Metro swimmer in 7, and another of the 16-year-olds in this one, Alicia Hawkins, also from Stockport Metro on the far side.
So the girls are off on this first final of the 400 metres freestyle. And keep an eye out on lane 6 for Michaela Glenister. She's only 14 years old, so if she can do potentially a podium spot on this, we're at the final. The noise, the crowd is basically full tonight. People can start getting behind people on this one. There's no home swimmer on here. Nobody's swimming from the city of Sheffield, but the noise, nevertheless, is still really loud.
At the turn then, Harris from Glenister, from Smith. Leah Crisp, just 15 in lane 5. She's got a 4:18.20 as a PB. Michaela Glenister, the other side of her in 6, is just 14.
Nikki Miller, she's in lane 4. She's just about to turn at this first 100-metre mark, and it's lane 7 that turns first. Elizabeth Harris from Stockport Metro, second Michaela Glenister, and a 1:01.66 from City of Leicester. We're at the first 100, we still have another 3 to go. Lots of things can change, but it looks like the Stockport Metro swimmer Elizabeth Harris has decided to take this out. I think now you can see Nikki Miller's seen them across the other side of the pool. She's starting to make her move now. I think we might see a change in the leaderboard at this 150 metres mark.
So 150 gone, the diving board end of Ponds Forge here in Sheffield. If you've never been, there is a full set of diving boards used by Great Britain divers. Freddie Woodward, to name but a few, Rio Olympian himself. So they've got a top-class programme of swimmers, they've got a top-class programme of divers. We've got a top-class audience tonight as well.
Absolutely.
It's Glenister, the 14-year-old, the youngest in the race, who had the lead at the last turn, 1:34.53. That changes. Elizabeth Harris, the lead, has been moving lanes steadily outwards since the start.
You might be able to see on your screen soon our coaches just helping, just willing their swimmers along as they go through to try and get them to go a little faster, get them to push themselves. This is now starting to be quite an exciting race. Like I said, some of these girls didn't get the opportunity to swim a second race of the longer distance events, the 800 freestyle being heats in the morning and the fastest heats at night. And this is too hard to call at the moment. All those 4 girls from lane 4, 5, 6 and 7 all in a line. And actually a little closer towards us in lane 2, Rachel Anderson, she's also starting to make her way up the field. And just the noise, these girls will be able to hear the noise. I hope that the people at home can hear that the noise of the crowd is starting to really push these girls on.
The sponsors tier, we're giving away little clappy hands, little air clappers as well, got little air horns. So every effort has been made to make an atmosphere in here, but the crowd are doing that. People just watching on from the side there. You can see some of the City of Leeds swimmers encouraging their athlete. That's Leah Crisp, who's 15 in lane number 5, 4:18.2, and look how tight it is as you come through that camera shot there. You can see the 3 of them really pushing each other. Miller, Crisp, Glenister and Harris is not too far behind. It's trying to get down to a 4-horse race, but Anderson is now coming back as well here in lane 2. Jeremy Plumstead says, go Jess. He means Jessica Podger, City of City of Bristol in lane 1. You can see Sean Kelly and the Stockport team now cheering on their two swimmers, Hawkins and Harris is still in the mix here. So too is Anderson as they come down. Kerry Ann, it's starting though to look like a great effort from Nikki Miller as she looks like she will take it.
She does. I really hope that she's looked across to the other side to see lane 2, but I think that we absolutely know who the winner of this one is going to be, and it is Nikki Miller that touches first in a time of 4:17.68. Nikki Miller, she came 8th overall in that 800 freestyle, which she did in the heats in the morning, so clearly having a swim in the evening for her helps her come through to that. Nikki Miller's PB is a 4:18.25, and she just did then a 4:17.68. So a good PB there for Nikki Miller. The most experienced one in the field, the oldest one in the field from East Kilbride, but that doesn't matter because she won.
Regardless of that, it's all about the tactics you go into the race with, your race plan, and you've spoken about that at length during the course of this competition, and it is, just let's reiterate, how vital is it to stick to that plan unless you start getting challenging, you've got to go.
Absolutely, and we saw at the beginning, the Stockport Metro swimmer Elizabeth Harris, potentially she went out a little bit too hard, but Nikki Miller thought, I'm sticking to my guns, I'm sticking to my race plan, and she executed that race plan to perfection. And there's your results on your screen. Nikki Miller from East Kilbride, a 4:17.68. Michaela Glennis, I told you to look out for a 14-year-old, a 4:18 on that one there. Great swim from all those girls, and we now move on to the final of the Women's Target Tokyo 400 meters freestyle final. Couple of names again on this one to look out for. 17-year-old Isabel Griffiths from City of Birmingham. Isabel Grant, will it be the battle of the Isabels on this event? Isabel Griffiths was 6th in the 800 freestyle, so she has had an evening swim already in one of these longer distance events. She's currently in lane 5, which means she's 2nd position from the heats. She has a PB of 4:15.36. Looking forward to seeing how this 400 plays out. It's a long race, 4.5 minutes pretty much of, I would almost say, sprinting. The 400s now are starting to get a lot faster. We'll look at the next event in particular. You know, the world record for the 400 freestyle is a lady called Katie Ledecky, 3:56.46. It's just becoming a sprint as we go through all of these events. We're coming up to the first 50 of this event.
We talked about this during the heats, of course. That time from Ledecky, it's monstrous, 3:56.46. It's huge, massive. You struggle to see in the next year to 2 years, you'd have to find a Katie Ledecky, who, you know, let's go back to London, just appeared. You know, she went to those US trials and she wasn't on a radar. Anyone that says she was outside of the United States, I'd have to question that, whether you're telling the truth or not. But certainly, once we got to London and she hit the heats, and we were all like, wow, what on earth is about to happen here?
Yeah, everyone's eyes just opened up and thought, wow, who is this girl? Where is she from? What can she do? And she proved that for 4 years she just got better and better and better. I remember when that European record was broken by Federica Pellegrini, the first woman to go under 4 minutes for the 400 freestyle.
There's City of Sheffield, Dick Granger and gang sat all watching on. They'll be cheering Isabel Grant, I am sure. Just going back to Ben Proud, 21:32. Do you remember what the Olympics was won in?
I would love for you to tell me.
21:40.
Ooh. that could very easily have been the thing that really got him to focus, to find those things that he needed to do, technically, tactically, physically, psychologically, all the little things that he needed to do, and he's clearly done that now. I just hope that he can continue to improve, continue to go on with that, and hopefully stand on that podium at the World Championships.
Thank you to Samuel for jogging my mind. I looked at that earlier and just, I was only looking at Ben Proud's time. I never really looked above that, and great observation. But here, wow, if Ben Proud was pulling away at 50, Isabel Grant, this is a pretty similar scenario, I suppose.
Yeah, so she's just about a body length ahead now of the rest of the field. She's gone out a lot harder than the rest of the girls. Her PB, I'm not sure if this is her PB, but we've got down a 4:18 that she did this morning. So if she did that this morning and that was her PB, she's looking like she's going to do a really fast time tonight. The rest of the girls around her, Isabel Griffiths, Georgia Derwent of Newcastle swim team, all trying to push her, but actually also we look a little further down the line to Maya Westlake. She's in lane 2. She was second in the Target Tokyo 200 freestyle final. We come up to this turn, the 300-meter mark, and it's Isabel Grant turning in a 3:11.76.
Well, everybody watching Isabel Grant here will be thinking, I hope these tactics are right. She's gone quick. She's gone out and been determined to build a lead, but as you could probably see the splashing just at the bottom of your shot there, that's Maya Westlake, City of Sheffield as well. How much more has she got in the fight back in 5? Isabel Griffiths in the Battle of the Isabels is starting to come as well.
We're just down to the last 50 metres of this 400 freestyle, and I do not think that Isabel Grant has done this tactically wrong. Her legs are really starting to work into this. She's looked across to the other side. She knows that Isabel Griffiths is on her way up. She's just had a look over at Maya Westlake. She can see her. The crowd are just going crazy for the local City of Sheffield swim squad, Isabel Grant. She's coming in to only 10 metres to go. She is definitely going to take the win on this. Let's see how she finishes this last bit. No breathing, with a beautiful touch onto the wall, and that is Isabel Grant winning that in a 4:15.59.
That's very big when it comes to standing out in front of selectors and showing dominance in a race and showing your potential, how fast you might be able to go, how fast you're currently going. Isabel Grant, look at that smile. That tells you, yeah, I did it, she says.
Look at that.
Oh, that is beautiful.
She's
brilliant
so happy.
stuff.
What a fantastic swim.
Oh, talk about being happy with your performance. Well, Isabel Grant, that is superb. First the smile and then the utter shock that's now ringing over her face. Well done to Grant and Westlake of Sheffield. You can see that. They took the top 2. Isabel Griffith, shades of a young Joanne Jackson.
Well, there you have it. We are halfway through tonight's action. Coming up next is the women's 400-meter freestyle. Jazz Carlin, our pick of the day. She won the 800 already. She won this silver in this event in Rio. She's won this event the last 3 years on the trot. Jo Jackson, can she do it again? And who else should be looking out for?
Yeah, I think Jazz can do it again. She's swimming really well this week. I know that she's tired because she had a big break after the Rio Olympics, but, you know, she's still doing really well. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she races this 400 metres tonight. But Ellie Falconer, what an amazing week she is having. She won the 200 freestyle and she PB'd also in the 100 freestyle. So I think she is going to be amazing tonight.
It's going to be fantastic. Now, speaking of the race, you're pumped for it, I'm pumped for it. It's about to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. Good luck to the athletes.
Good old Jo. Ask her about a 400 and give her about an hour and she'll fill it for you. But we didn't have an hour. Out come the athletes. This is Holly Hibbert in lane 4. Interesting to know the nerves that are going through Holly Hibbert. This lady won't have any. This is a standard procedure. Come out, swim big, do what Jazz Carlin does. She's in lane 5. Hannah Miley will come out in a moment. In fact, that is Hannah Miley. That's Ellie Faulkner in 6. In 2, representing the City of Glasgow, that's Camilla Hattersley. Another of the big coat wearers. Catherine Greenslade, Edinburgh University, is in 7. Abby Houston in 1, and we'll have one more swimmer on the other side. That's Abby Houston Alice Deering, Loughborough University, the final swimmer to be introduced, and Holly Hibbert just getting herself ready. And I'm happy to say that sprinting up the stairs, you've still got a good level of fitness here, is Joanne Jackson. Just say hi for now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit out of breath. I've just had to run up the stairs, so I do apologise if I'm puffing and panting a little bit.
This is the 400-metre freestyle final for the ladies. Houston, Hattersley, Miley, Hibbert, Carlin, Faulkner, Greenslade and Deer. Joe Jackson, used to winning in the ball at this sort of distance. Now you get a chance to just watch the others do it. Who's your pick here?
Yeah, I've really been looking forward to this race. You know, Jazz Carlin, Olympic silver medalist, she's won this event the past 3 years, so, you know, everyone's expecting her to win this. She is the favourite in the 400 metres, but who's really impressed me this week is Ellie Faulkner. She's done absolutely amazing. She personal best in the 200 freestyle and the 100 freestyle. She's had a really kind of disappointing couple of years. She's had a few injuries, quite a few illnesses, so she's really struggled, but she's definitely back to her best and back on form this week, which is really good to see. I've swam with her quite a bit, so I'm really happy to see that. But Holly Hibbert, she's just 17 years of age. She's a young and up-and-coming swimmer, so I think she's definitely one to watch, not just this week, but definitely one for the future.
The 17-year-old age record is 4:08.30. Her personal best is 4:08.40. That was done at the European Junior Championships last year, so as she progresses, as you say, she's taken a few records with her. We are never really truly surprised when a youngster comes through, but sometimes they just capture you, and Hibbert has seemed to have done that this week. Faulkner, as you say, fighting all the time to get good times, and her teammates here in Sheffield will be cheering her on. And as you can see at the moment, Jazz Carlin, Bath University, is the leader, but it is already down to a three-way competition, this one.
Yeah, these three athletes out in front are really pushing each other. Hibbert, Carlin and Faulkner, I think they can push themselves to a really fast swim here this evening. At the minute, Jazz looks quite in control of the race, but like I said, Holly Hibbert is only young, at 17. It's a great opportunity for her to maybe knock a lot of time off her personal best. This is, you know, such a good opportunity to race an Olympic medalist and really push herself here and put her name on the world map this week. And she's looking good at the minute. Jazz is just slightly in front, coming to the legs, picking up that stroke rate. But Ellie Faulkner this morning came back really strong over that second 200. She looked really good on that last 100, really picked that stroke rate up, really came to her legs, and she looked really, really confident in the pool. And I'm thinking that her races that she's done this week, her confidence will be building.
So just 0.36 was the distance from Carlin to Hibbert, and Faulkner 2:33.75, only 1/10 behind Hibbert. There's nothing in this. As a 400 goes, there's nothing in it, Joe.
It is very close, but Jazz is such a gutsy swimmer. She does not give up easily. She is one swimmer that keeps going, going and going. She hates to lose. She is going to be fighting in there all the way. We know Ellie Faulkner is a good sprinter. She did a personal best in the 100 freestyle last night, so we know that she can finish very strong, but Jasmine Callan will want to win this event. She's going to want to go in there and be the national champion after the year that she had last year.
Ewan Inglis tweeting into us, says Kerry-Ann Payne saying the 400-metre free is a sprint. I'm not sure what I'm doing then. Hey, they're the words of Kerry-Ann Payne. All of these are long distance as far as I'm concerned, but to somebody who likes to swim 10k, that is a sprint.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a sprint for me, but a 200 was a sprint for me. Kerry-Ann was a 10k, so for her it definitely was a sprint.
Here we go, Carlin, Hibbert, Faulkner, everybody in the building. Eyes are on the water. They're in 4, they're in 5, they're in 6, but who will be in 1, 2 and 3, Joe?
Hibbert is looking fantastic at the minute, coming into the final 10 metres here. Hibbert is looking good, and it looks like she is going to take the win.
Hibbert from the reigning champion of the last 4 years, not anymore. Holly Hibbert, 4:06.37.
What a swim there for Holly Hibbert. She is inside that consideration time for the World Championships later in the year. She has just smashed her personal best there. What an absolutely cracking swim for her. I've got goosebumps just watching that, seeing someone young coming through at 17 years of age, doing a time like that is just phenomenal.
Well,
What an
Sheffield
amazing swim.
is a city of football, and Holly Hibbert's just thrashed her old personal record out of the window. The neighbours will be trying to give that one back. 4:06.37, Carlin 4:07.24, Faulkner 4:07.62. It was just genuinely quick. They wanted to get inside 4:03.43 for the guaranteed. They couldn't quite get that this early in the season for them. But I tell you what, inside the consideration time, as you say, Joe, you've got to say, that young lady there, one for the future indeed.
Yeah, looking at her now in the pool, she looks in a bit of shock that she's just done that time. We knew that she was swimming well after that 800 metres.
There's been a fair bit of shock this week, hasn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for us, watching here, it's been such an exciting week. We've seen British record after British record going. After an Olympic year, that's absolutely amazing. These younger ones are coming through, which for us, it's fantastic to see.
You just saw the last sort of 7 or 8 metres, and just at the end, Holly Hibbert could just find that little bit more to get away from the very experienced Jazz Carlin, and Ellie Faulkner in that as well. And we're waiting to have a chat with Holly Hibbert. He'll be downstairs with us, so let's go and hear from a very excited youngster.
Well, here I am, ladies and gentlemen, with the new British champion, Holly Hibbert. Round of applause! Come on! 2 seconds off a personal best as well. How are you feeling?
Can't believe it. I'm so happy with that swim.
I mean, you entered that swim with such recognisable names as well. What was going through your head as you were up on that blocks, about to dive in and take on that swim?
Well, I went in there knowing I had nothing to lose and just gave it my best, and it's paid off.
It certainly did. It certainly did. Look, congratulations. You're the new British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. Holly Hibbert, new British champion. 400 metres. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
Kerry-Ann Payne hot-footing it back up the steps and back into the chair. Thank you to Joanne Jackson, by the way. Couldn't have asked for anybody better, really, to sit in the chair and talk to me through it. What a race. You were just literally a couple of rows in front of us watching on, and like Joe and like myself, we started pointing at the pool. We were pointing at what was happening in front of us. That was phenomenal.
I was waving, even though she can't see me up here, I was waving like all those coaches were down there. Clearly, it's just something you want to do to will people on.
Yeah, it was quite confusing. There was a guy over there waving back at you. I think you thought you were waving at him. Now we go back to the action then. We'll half the distance, but introduce all the strokes, shall we? The men's 200 metres individual medley junior final. Charlie Hutchinson of Ellesmere College goes in lane 1. We're going to talk to Kerry-Ann about Charlie Hutchinson in just a moment. George Clough, Warren de Bar Club in 2. Jacob Greenough of Taunton Dean in 3. 4 is James McFadden of Wickham District, swinging the arms, getting himself ready. Brodie Williams of Millfield up next. Thomas Dean, Maidenhead in the pale blue shorts. Of course, there's the junior final. We've got the Target Tokyo after that. And the senior final in 8 there is Ben, 7 is Ben Harrison from Mount Kelly. Ooh, and a short delay. So a little bit like the cap in the 50-metre freestyle. You do sometimes get this. The officials will ask their swimmers to stand back down off the blocks, and how does that jangle the nerves?
It does absolutely change a little bit of the start of the swim. Earlier, changing goggles or something like that, that gives that athlete that initial adrenaline hit. But on this occasion, nothing really happened. It was the starter that asked them to step down. So just breathe, take a breath, get back on the block, back into the race mindset.
And lots of wows coming in through our hashtag BSC17. Ian Salt, wow. Joe Jeffrey, wow. People just applauding that swim a moment ago. Away they go, nice and clean. Those sorts of things don't just happen at junior level or domestic level. Happens internationally as well. The Olympic Games themselves, you can have a problem with technology. You can have a starter that's not quite ready for it. So it's something that you have to get used to.
It's absolutely part of that psychological training. You prepare for everything. Always had the mantra of expect the unexpected. If that kind of stuff happens, you know, emotionally it doesn't take a drain on you. It's not like, oh, why did that happen? What's happened now? What's going on? It's just a case of stopping, you know, taking a deep breath and going on with the race.
And of course, these guys are vying for places not just in the final tonight. They're showcasing their talent, and why?
So there's three different events that these juniors can qualify for. There's the World Juniors, there's also the European Juniors as well, and also the European Youth Olympic Festival. Those are all being picked from this junior final. And we've seen quite often that the junior finals have been really fast, a little faster than the Tokyo finals as well. But just a quick shout out from this morning to Charlie Hutchison. He's only 14 years old. He's currently in lane 1. He's in 5th position after that first 100 turn. He broke the British junior 14-year-old record this morning in the 200 meters individual medley, 2:07.91. So I think he'll probably want to try and do that again.
Ali Beckman is keeping an eye out on Mr. B. She spotted him at these championships in the back of that interview a moment ago. That's eagle-eyed.
Really?
That is it's a good spotter's badge for you. Keep those tweets coming into us here. The battle is between 4 and 6, Fadzin and Thomas Dean. And I don't know where John Mason's, but just heard somebody scream, "Go on!" near his microphone. Somebody is desperately willing on Thomas Dean in 6, and he gets there. 2:02.59 for Thomas Dean.
That was a really good swim, a nice little fist pump in the air there from Thomas Dean. Clearly very happy with that result of 2:02.59 is a really fast time for these boys. Second place there, James McFadden. Somebody also gave him a shout out a minute ago on the hashtag BSC17. Third place, Brody Williams in a 2:03.82. Just waiting for those results to be finalised and up on your screen.
You see the finish, and he got stronger and stronger, didn't he? Into the wall he came. And Thomas Dean and Maidenhead made the senior 400 IM final, and he's won the junior 200.
And that is also another 14-year-old British junior record for Charlie Hutchison. He's had a great meet so far. 14 years old. Wow.
You see the results up on the screen. Another one to keep an eye on Hutchison there as he moves through. As you say, just 14. Great opportunity to gain experience, isn't it?
It really is, especially racing, you know, older boys in these events. He's done quite a few different events this week. He's still young enough to not quite know what event he will do in maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years' time, but just doing a whole bunch of events and to build his resilience, to make sure that he is, you know, tactically, physically in the best shape for the event that he wants to do later down the line.
I'm still waiting to decide what my best event is.
Still waiting. Any idea?
None. Brian Sweeney says, what a great swim, Holly Hibbert, congratulations. Well done to Sean Kelly, the coach, as well from him. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream. Keep your tweets coming into us. Daniel Hill just reiterating what we said earlier. Wow, incredible swim by Ben Proud. That would have won the Olympics last summer. He'll know that. Rubens King in Port of Portsmouth North Sea in 2. Joshua Thompson of Carnforth in 3. Callum Laurie, University of Stirling, goes in 4. Dominic Polling of Brighton in 5. And Brandon Nabarro Putteridge goes in 6. Kerry-Ann leaves me again, which is fine. I think Mr. James Goddard, owner of current British record, will appear at some point. James believes his 2009 British record will go tonight. He's been quite open with it with the team here behind the scenes, and he's a man that knows a thing or two. If you're wondering where he is, James is actually announcing in the venue as well today, and Joanne Jackson. So if you've ever been to a swimming event, then you'll know there's always an announcer inside as well as on the TV or stream as well, and that's the job that Joanne and James have got. Team JJ over there enjoying themselves, but we're getting the benefits of their experience for the events but they were the experts in. And, well, other than Rubens King here in 2, the first 2 strokes of this event, I've seen these 4 stay pretty even. Dominic Polling will lead from Nabarro, from Thompson and Callum Lowry. Now, who has the best of the breast as they come up? And again, it just levels up. Keep those tweets coming into us. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream. Be interested to see your thoughts and views. Go Brandon, says Nicola Greenwich. Hashtag Putteridge. Final 50 at the turn. Callum Lowry, the 400 target Tokyo winner. Rubens King made that final as well. He was the 5th place on the day. He's going to be 5th place here because these 4 just haven't let anybody go. They've all battled hard to stay in the race, but it's Joshua Thompson who looks like he might have the stronger of the sprint finishers. Into the final 10, now comes Lowry again, but I think Thompson can hold on here in 3, and he's going to do just that. 2:05.03. He had the strength, he had the speed, and he had the game plan to beat Lowry, Polling and Nabarro. A few deep breaths for Joshua Thompson. Callum Lowry and Polling's times all inside 2:06. And one James Goddard has appeared alongside. We'll have a chat with him during the next race, but as we say, this was the target Tokyo. The next set of athletes are all about trying to break James Goddard's record. Those guys might do it a little bit later on. Here's John Mason.
Now it's a penultimate senior final right now. It is, of course, the men's individual 200-meter individual medley. Now, James Goddard, one of our commentators, holds the British record for this. It's a bit under threat, isn't it, Kerry-Ann?
It is. I think after he watched Max Litchfield's 400 medley, he was like, oh no. And I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, my record's going to go, isn't it? And I was like, maybe.
So Duncan Scott, you're saying in this one, is there anyone else we should be keeping an eye out for?
Absolutely. Dan Wallace, definitely do not rule him off. This will be his first final of the meet, so we haven't really seen what kind of shape he's in at the moment.
Fantastic. I'll be keeping my eye out on both of them and, of course, the rest of the field. Hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for it. Let's do it.
Out first, Max Litchfield getting a rapturous reception from the Ponds Forge crowd, a hometown swim, if you like, to the Sheffield. Mark Ceranic, Edinburgh University, out next in 5. 6, we'll go the other way, 3 will be Dan Wallace, University of Stirling. And in 6 will be Joe Litchfield, another City of Sheffield swimmer. That's him there. Keeping the jumper on to the very last moment. Jarvis Parkinson, another former Doncaster dart swimmer. They've made some good IM swimmers. Both Max and Joe used to swim there too. Xavier Mohammed on the far side in 7 for City of Cardiff. Duncan Scott on this near side in 1. Here he is. Cool as you like, Duncan Scott. Done some good work this week already, hasn't he? And then on the far side, that's Martin Walton, University of Stirling. Scott's on the other side, but so I can say, welcome, Mr. James Goddard, owner of one British record in a time of 1:57.12. You've been rumoured to have said that you think this might just go here.
Yeah, well, Max Litchfield is on fire, 4:10 in that 400 metres individual medley. And you know what? That British record needs going. So my money's on Max Litchfield. Can Dan Wallace make a charge? Just when you're super confident like Max Litchfield is right now, I don't think anything's going to stop the young lad.
Very open and honest there from James. It needs to go. You do, at the end of the day, you've gone from 2009. We need to see that progression. We've had it in other areas. You know, Adam Peaty has taken one mantle on. We've had Ben Proud now pushing on times in the 53, certainly in the women's events as well. We're moving forward. This is one that James would like to disappear. Where can you win and lose? Give us your expert opinion. Over 200, where do you win and lose it?
It's going to be down the back 50. Yeah, it's going to be down the back 50 for me. Max Litchfield, though, we know has got an amazing freestyle. Dan Wallace also has got an unbelievable freestyle as well. He won a medal in that 4x2 last year at the Rio Olympics, so we know he's got an unbelievable freestyle, and that's where it's going to be won. Someone who does like to go out strong, though, is the someone in lane number 5, and there we go. He will probably turn first at the 100.
So through the 25-metre marker there, and on the near side, Duncan Scott of University of Stirling, not one to be forgotten, a personal best of 1:59.88. Duncan Scott, a bronze medal winner last time out in his backstroke. He's working hard here. He's going to make this turn just about in front. Duncan Scott from Litchfield, Max of course, and Mark Ceranic then in third. Ceranic, who was on the podium in the 400, he's in the mix again here, James.
Yeah, I love watching Duncan Scott in lane number 1. I mean, smashing that 100 freestyle British record and now diving in the pool in lane 1 for this 200 IM and turning first at that 100-metre marker. I love it. He missed that turn slightly on that backstroke to breaststroke, and you could see the two boys in the centre of the pool got that little bit of an edge on him. Zavir Mohammed, though, in lane number 7. He's having an absolute stormer. Fantastic as a junior. Didn't quite progress into that senior level, but look at him here. He's just turning second behind Mark.
Everybody needs a chance, and this meet has already proved it. We've had some stormers when people who maybe missed out on Rio, who maybe we thought weren't going to do it, and they've started to. But here goes Mark Ceranic, who is racing with Max Litchfield through the 25. They go.
Yeah, I don't think my British record's going. I don't think it's going to go. I'd love it to go, but look at the finish from Max Litchfield.
Litchfield against Ceranic, and the power of the man from Sheffield is immense. 1:58.10. It's inside the consideration time. I'll tell you now, James Goddard has a little wry smile. He gets to keep hold of that title for a little longer, but he's 5/100ths of a second inside the consideration time that was needed, and he was trying desperately to drag the rest on. Mark Ceranic, 1:58.39. He's silver again. Hello, everybody. What a swim.
Yeah, Max Litchfield, 1:58.10. It's a good swim. It's a good swim. He's got a little nod on his head at the end of the pool there. I don't think he'll be over the moon with that. It'd be interesting to see his interview after, because 4:10 on a 400 medley, I think should equate to a lot quicker than a 1:58.1. But just shows that he's a 400 medley swimmer. That's what he trains on. That's what he works hard on. And this 200 iron might be kind of a bonus event for him. But he's the British champion, so I'm sure he'll be happy about that.
What else he has done there is he had to fight back. Mark Ceranic perhaps caught him by surprise. They made that turn. You were talking about Zavir Mohammed on the far side. He wouldn't have seen much of him, but Mohammed was there. Ceranic right next to him. He'd have known that. He'd have made that turn and headed back down. We're going to go and hear from our winner in just a few moments' time. But 1:58.10 on the screen. Ceranic 1:58.39. Duncan Scott gets the bronze. 1:58.44 is exactly the same position he finished in last year as well. But I think that swim, while she's saying the time maybe not what he wanted, at least he showed the guts and determination at that last 50 turn to head back down. I have one question with James in a couple of moments, because we've got one question with our winner.
I'm here with Max Litchfield, second time winning a gold medal here at the British Champions this week. We love that. Now, big differences between the 4 and the 200. How did you approach that race?
I just go in there, just trying to do my best really, and really happy with the time I've come out with, and like I say, it's great to get the win as well. So
absolutely, mate. Look, congratulations, fantastic start to the season, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Max Litchfield. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much to John Mason, catching up with Max Litchfield again. And, well, people watching all over the place. Big thank you to Adam Jarrett. Said, come on, Zavir Mohammed. He was watching at home on his TV. Jess Tillman says, all these Brits not mentioning Mark Ceranic. We've mentioned him plenty. A couple of silvers he's going to go away with. Jess Tillman, a gator, watching through the live stream. Hey Jess, how you doing? Keep those swims coming. Yeah, Sharon Shearing says that freestyle leg. Well done, man, Max Litchfield. And that's what we're talking about. As James was saying, it might not have been the time he wanted, but he would have shown again the selectors who picked the team that this man has got some fight. He made that turn at 50, Ceramic was all over it. But it's Max Litchfield that fights down. Joe Jackson is down on poolside. He's going to present some medals, much to the humour and laughter of Jazz Carlin. She's laughing away. All mates down there. Ellie Faulkner gets the bronze. Oh, there we go. I thought that was coming. They're all mates, really. Mary says, take a bow. Duncan Scott. Hashtag BSC, hashtag livestream. Jazz Carlin gets silver. She's smiling and gets a hug from her mate down there on poolside. And more of a calm face on our eventual winner. More of maybe a little shell-shocked face for Holly Hibbert. For the Stockport Metro Swimmers, he gets a hug as well. It's medals and hug time. And she will need to get used to that. That's Carlin gracious in defeat, so too Ellie Faulkner. Actually, Jazz mentioned in an interview the other day after the 800 how it is good to see the youngsters coming through. She's not scared of young opposition coming through and trying to compete against her. A lot of people who race say that it's good to get competition. It only makes you quicker. Well, Jazz Carlin, to become British champion next time, you've got to go quicker than Holly Hibbert. So there you go. One quick question for James Goddard. How do we take that time forward for Max Litchfield? What does he need to do there?
Work on his speed a little bit more, I think. It's difficult if he's got the 400 metres individual medley, but they can tie in quite well. Quite often, you know, the world or Olympic champion, the 400 IM, does well in the 200 IM as well. So maybe he needs to work on that speed a little bit more. You know, that front end wasn't quite as good as maybe it could have been. His freestyle is sorted, but, you know, I think that front end is where it's going to really improve for him.
So, just a small break before we move into the women's 200 IMs, and we'll hopefully we'll get Jimmy back for the women's 200 IM final as well. We will have the medal presentation for the men's 200 IM in just a moment. Again, keep those tweets coming in. Ben Evans says, great swim from Jarvis in the 200 IM final. Jamie McHale says, top swim. Even coming into us, Gira Beach Hotel said, what a race. Simply it was. So Duncan Scott 158.44 over that first 100. He really put the work in to push the rest. Scott's time 158.44 sees him on the podium again. What's that, 4? Silver goes for the man that picked up exactly the same medal on double the distance day. It was the 400 IM silver. It's now the 200 IM silver as well, 158.39. And that man there, Max Litchfield, City of Sheffield, 158.10. People waving away, they're enjoying themselves here at Ponds Forge. You know what? The life and the vibrancy is back within the world of swimming. Some say they were disappointed at the end of 2012. Others will tell you all we've done is built on it. And that is exactly right. Young men like this ended up 4 years later going to Rio, competing, and now they're the face of our sport. One more event to come tonight. Jess Tillman trying to tell me that she only tunes in to listen to me. Ah, Jess, thank you very much. Too kind. But we are all tuning in to watch the action. The Women's Junior 200 IM, the Women's Target Tokyo 200 IM, and then the Women's Open 200 meters individual medley final. So again, people awaiting the entrance of the next lot of swimmers. And they are making their way out just now. The junior final to start with. Kaylee Parker of Street will go in lane number 1. Eleanor Cowan of Wickham District will follow her. You can see them making their way across the top of the pool deck. The top 3 from the junior 400 IM final are all in this. There's Kaylee Parker. Cowan, Wickham District in 2. Kira Sloshan of Leeds in 3. Amy Bell, City of Sheffield in 4. 5, Alicia Wilson of Guildford. Emily Large, Newcastle in 6, and a good week herself. Tori Sopp in 7 of Willow Metro. And Eleanor Southwood of Ellesmere College Titans goes in lane number 8. These ladies concentrating, staying focused, and as Kerry-Ann's been talking about, opportunities in the junior and the Target Tokyo finals to go to various different places. If you're just tuning in, there's the European Youth Olympic Festival out in Hungary. We've got the World Junior Championships in Indianapolis. The European Junior Championships take place in Israel. So lots of opportunities for our youngsters to travel the globe, taking the experience. And of course in those senior finals, clocking the qualification times and getting themselves on the plane to Budapest later in the year for the World Championships. 50 gone, and the early leader Emily Large from Stossan. Those tweets coming in, Ali was waiting for those darts boys to swim. Jarvis, Joel, Joe and Max, a rather large cocktail and a phone. That's the way to watch swimming, if you ask me. I've got water and 5 screens. It's down to 4, or at least they pulled away for now. Changes can happen, that's the beauty of the medley races. Sloshan from Large, from Wilson, from Southwood. That's how it looked last time. This time it's Amy Bell. Sloshan in 2nd. 3rd then is Alicia Wilson. And well, the battle for 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th is fairly tight. Large is still in there as well as they come through 25 now. This is the bit we saw Max excelling in a few moments ago. He just had the power. He had a little bit of speed down that final 50, enough to get past Mark Serrani. Has Amy Bell here at City of Sheffield got enough to hang on? Wilson is trying desperately to claw back the lead, but she won't do it. 2:15.49. The 16-year-old, 2nd in the 400 IM junior final, takes victory in the 200 version. Alicia Wilson of Guildford, 2:16.01. That looks to be a personal best for Wilson of Guildford in 2nd. Emily Large of Newcastle, the 16-year-old, winner of the 400 version. She has to settle for third in this, but that's the moment that Amy Bell wins the junior final. Claire says, go on Mark, hashtag proud cousin. Ceramic. And there we see the look on the face, just a quick look at the time and then try and take it all in. And she puts the goggles on. And, a great experience. A winner always wants to get out. Sometimes those in third, fourth, fifth, sixth and so on, just hanging there, trying immediately to post-mortem what's just happened. Rachel Mortimer said, come on Alicia. That last race, out they've come then. Molly Allen, City of Peterborough in 1, 2 Anna Newlands, Edinburgh University, 3 Emily Siebricht of Bath University, 4 Emma Day, Loughborough University. Candice Hall, also from Loughborough University in 5, Lucy McKenzie, Stockport Metro in 6, and Tara Howarth goes for Lincoln Vulcans in lane 7. Away they go then. Allen, Newlands, Siebricht, Day, Hall, McKenzie, Howarth. On this near side, Molly Allen gets the better of the starters, no doubting that. But on her shoulder, Newlands looking fairly good. Then in 4, it's Emma Day. Siebricht reaching the 400 final, finishing 6th. McKenzie finished last in the 400 final, but these a selection of 18, 19 and 20-year-olds, and at the moment it's Molly Allen, the 18-year-old City of Peterborough swimmer, on the near side. No swimmers from the top 3 in the Target Tokyo 400 final have made it into the 200. Here in 5, Candice Hall. Will touch and turn, 102.81. Hall's PB showing us a 2:13.77. Keep those tweets coming in. Who do you think is going to win the Open 200 IM final? Miley O'Connor or Wood, or someone else altogether? Kelly is watching from Pontypool swimming pool. Keep watching then. We're watching here. The comeback from Emma Day. Turned in 3rd, gone into the breaststroke leg and showing how strong she is at that stroke. Now turning 0.69 in front. That's a tremendous turnaround. Has she got what it takes to hold off the rest of the field over the final 25? Here it's close between the 2 Loughborough ladies. It's Day and Hall, about half a body length for Day. And again starts to kick strongly. She's actually visibly moving away from Candice Hall here over the final few meters. In fact, Hall's going to struggle to hang on. Oh, she gets there just in front of Siebricht. Neither can catch Emma Day. 2:15.33. Candice Hall, 2:16.33 in second, 2:15.33 in first. An entire second splits Emma Day from Candice Hall. Emily Siebricht comes in 2:16.66. Once again, just hanging from the start blocks, getting their breath. Made to work for it pretty close. But right out over those last 15, She just got stronger and stronger as Candice Hall faded. You see from here, Hall was fading all the time. Seabrick, another 10 metres, and it might have been a bit more interesting for second. So get those tweets coming in. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag livestream. Who's winning this final? Who's winning our final event of the night? Matt, Coates, Rudin, Miley, O'Connor, Wood, Renshaw and Dean. Who do you think is going to be? Send us your tweets. Hashtag BSC17, hashtag stream. Who's winning? Final race of the night. Siobhan Marie O'Connor at Bath University in 4. Olympic silver medalist, European silver medalist, reigning British record holder. 2:06.88 is well inside the qualification time, but that's the one we want to see her smash. Hannah Miley in 5, Rosie Rudin in 6, Abby Woody in 3, Molly Renshaw coming out now in 2 for Loughborough University. That's Georgia Coates. Well, that looks more like a jacket to me. She'll take that off, get herself ready. Constance Dean in 1 from Maidenhead. And Katie Matz finishes the lineup as they come out. Paul Noble, MBE. Nonetheless, well done, Mark Zeranek. Great to see an ex-Glen Rothes man on the podium. That's exactly where Paul Noble lives. Get well soon, Paul Noble. Who's winning this? Who is taking our last event of the night? How many can we get inside 2:10.75? O'Connor's personal best, of course, the British record. Katinka Hasu holds the world record, the Iron Lady as they call her, 2:06.12. She was the lady in front of Siobhan Marie O'Connor. Maya Dirado of the United States in second, 2:06.88. That swim of O'Connor's gave her the treasured silver medal. Can she build on the next 4 years and make that a gold? O'Connor towards the first 50 turn, and the butterfly has served her well. O'Connor from Wood, from Renshaw, from Katie Matz. The backstroke is also serving her well. The rest of the field desperately trying to cling on. O'Connor, though, dragging them along here. There's 3 in a line behind her. Rudin, Wood, and do you know what? If you ever discount Hannah Miley, you'd be mad. And she's right in there, right in the mix. Also coming good in 2, Molly Renshaw into the breaststroke leg. You expect nothing else of Molly Renshaw here as she starts to power forward and try and pile the pressure on the rest. O'Connor's away, 60.96 of that last turn. At the turn here, 50 to go. Drama on the last turn. Who is going to be close enough? Nobody surely can break that 2-second gap. Siobhan Marie O'Connor is away here. Renshaw in second, Miley in third, Wood in fourth. On the other side, Katie Matz trying hard to keep up with the pace, but the 1 and potentially 2 is sorted. O'Connor into the last 10. Miley going well for the silver, and the battle is for bronze. Wood and Renshaw. O'Connor takes it to 2:09.72. Miley in silver. O'Connor's time well inside the 2:10.75. Hannah Miley is 2:11.75, exactly a second outside of the consideration time. And there's Siobhan Marie O'Connor looking up. Got to wait for the official results to come through here. And there's about to be a rather big surprise. That lady there has just been told she's been disqualified. James Goddard has quickly joined me, and the expression on her face is that of disappointment. Miley is the winner. Wood second. Renshaw is bronze. We'll bring you the official results in a couple of seconds. There's a little bit of drama here. Siobhan Marie O'Connor disqualified. We've got the results in the venue. James?
It's a massive disappointment, isn't it? This is arguably the most talented woman on this little island we have right now, and I'm really, really disappointed for her because she's such a superb swimmer to watch. It must have been on the start. I'm not sure where she would have got disqualified. We'd maybe have to find out a little bit later. I'm so disappointed for her, and can see in Siobhan's face. I was really looking forward to the World Champs in this summer, you know, going head to head with Katika Hozu again. I really think Siobhan could challenge her. So disappointed for her.
Still that possibility she might make it on the team. We have to wait and see what happens. At the end of the day, we don't know, do we?
I mean, it even kind of shows that, you know, even the top swimmers, they've got to focus on that start, focus on the turns, and it's a disappointment.
Let's go downstairs to John Mason.
I'm here, final interview of the night, ladies and gentlemen, with Hannah Miley, our new British champion in the 200-metre IM. How are you feeling?
A bit tired.
I'm sure. This is your fourth time in that pool today?
Yeah, but my main race was 400 IM, which was on day one. So all my other races have just kind of been teaching points for me, just finding out what I need to work on for this next phase. So yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you had a big year last year going into the new season. Is there any major changes you made heading towards this Olympic cycle?
If I could be taller, that would help, but that's not something I can actually change. But I just need to be better at everything and just look at the little things and making those improvements, because it's the little things that count.
Absolutely. Look, congratulations. Go and enjoy yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Miley. Right, back to you guys.
Well, Hannah Miley there. You accept the British title if it's given to you. She still had to swim hard herself. She had plenty of competition in Abby Wood and Molly Renshaw, so you know, it's not like she wasn't swimming her own race. You only swim against what's in front of you, don't you? And at the end of the day, Hannah Miley is British champion because she was the quickest after Siobhan Marie O'Connor, and that gives her the title after the disqualification.
Yeah, I guess so. I just can't believe it. I'm really disappointed for Siobhan Marie O'Connor. I mean, I know Hannah Miley's won it, and I guess she deserves it after disqualification, but you want your best swimmers, your fastest swimmers at the World Champions. I mean, Siobhan's got a 2:06 as a personal best, so you want her there. Disappointed.
Let's take a look at the start here, Jimmy. She just moves, doesn't she? And you know, at the end of the day, the letter of the law, and we're following it. So we'll bring you the medal presentation for the women's 200 individual medley right now, and it's bronze for Molly Renshaw, and we come out of that clip of the race, and you just saw right at the beginning just that slight little bit of movement, and unfortunately that's the one that caused it. So Renshaw 2:13.21, a very impressive breaststroke leg, as you would have expected from Molly Renshaw.
She's a fantastic breaststroker. Going back to that start, when I was watching it, I kind of just maybe noticed something, and that's why I said I thought it might have been the start. It just seemed like she just did that little twist, and looking back on the camera, she did that. I don't want to focus too much on that. I know we're on the medal winners now. Molly Renshaw, yeah, fantastic breaststroke. She'll be pleased to be up on that podium.
Abby Wood, happy to be on the podium as well at 2:12.62. Good performance from Abby Wood. Was expecting a bronze there, and she's now ended up with a silver. Hannah Miley, you get what you get from Hannah Miley. A hard-working, grafting swimmer, takes on all challenges, takes on all events, gets a gold.
Absolutely. She's one of the nicest people you will ever meet as well. One of the hardest working, nicest people, and every single medal this woman gets, she absolutely deserves. I was devastated for her coming fourth last year in that 400 medley. I so wanted her to get that medal. It would have been the icing on the cake for this young woman. British champion again, and she deserves absolutely everything she gets.
Well, we've had 4 nights of wow for the right reasons. We've had a positive wows Day 5 ends, and there's a little bit of numbness. Thank you very much for watching here on day number 5 of the British Swimming Championships. From myself, Alan Martin, James Goddard. Let's go down to John Mason.
Well, there you have it, our penultimate day here at the British Swimming Championships, full of drama, full of excitement, and full of incredible swimming, wasn't it, Kerry-Ann? Highlights for you?
My absolute highlight tonight had to be Ben Proud in that 50 freestyle, a British record and a beautiful swim from him. Also, I have to do a special mention to Holly Hibbett. She not only did the consideration time for that 400 freestyle, but she also broke my old club record.
Gutted about that, are you? Well, look, I mean, amazing night tonight, obviously finishing with a bit of drama there as well. Tomorrow, though, it's a new day. It's the final day of the Swimming Championships. What are we looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, we do have another swim from Siobhan Marie O'Connor tomorrow. She's got the 100 fly. We also have Charlotte Atkinson as well. She'll be coming back in that to try and win the 1, 2, 3. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Duncan Scott again in that men's 200 freestyle. It's going to be a fast one.
He has been swimming incredibly all week. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying what we do here, give our YouTube page a like and subscribe. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning for more swimming action, the final day of the British Swimming Championships here in beautiful Sheffield for 2017. Good night, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow.